Thank you.
Hello, Council. My name is Michael Baines, formerly on the Board of Directors of National Black Contractors Association, developer, builder in the Oakland area for over 30 years. What I see today on this legislative piece on 5.11 is excellent move, because what it does, it removes the responsibility of the monthly obligation committed by small companies which don't have the money to pay. So all it's done is just remove that and put us in a better position to be able to move our agenda. And I appreciate the progressive attitude you took on this particular issue, because it takes change to change. And a lot of times we don't change. We suffer the consequences, a lot of the minority companies, and we come back year and year after year saying we need more help, we need this, we need that. What you've done here is put us in a position to remove us from the obligation and put us in a better position in order for us to take opportunities available in this small city of Oakland. And the city of Oakland has consistently been on the forefront for minorities. So, again, thank you very much, and I appreciate what you've done here on the language. Thank you.
Samuel Adams, BGI. Hope all is well from the holiday break. In short words about the SLLBE program certification requirements. In support of the items, to amend the items, in 2011 I joined the Baines Group Incorporated, which is a local business enterprise. Since then we have grown tremendously and created jobs in the Oakland area. In 2001 I started an independent division, and I have 2 part-time employees and 2 full-time employees. 2 of those employees are Oakland residents. I want to be able to express to you guys how important it is for when you start companies, no matter where you're from. It's important to give us an advantage, because we're giving jobs back. The impact to small companies, the disparity shows that we're at a disadvantage, and we need this help. So please pass this.
Good afternoon, Council President, council members. My name is Mick Penn with Swinnerton Builders. I'm here today to share some appreciation for individuals that have worked on item 511, the amendment to the SLBE. I'd like to thank Councilmember Fife for her work on that, City Administrator Johnson, and Director Espria. Swinnerton has been in Oakland for almost 40 years, employing Oakland residents in construction, trade, living wage jobs, and also supporting Black and brown entrepreneurs of color. And we look to continue to partner with Oakland and lift up community, and appreciate the work done on this item.
Good afternoon, council members. I'm Liz Williams with Americans for Non-Smokers' Rights. I'm also an Oakland resident and District 1 renter. I'm speaking on item 5.5 to say that we strongly support this proposal to end smoking and vaping on bar patios. This is going to help bar workers breathe clean air on the job, because they deserve the same protections as almost every other worker in California enjoys. And creating a level playing field not only provides for equal health protections, but it also will make it easier for everyone involved to understand, follow, and enforce this law. So thank you. For smoke-free multi-unit housing, I do have to say that we don't support exempting cannabis. The expectation and best practice throughout California is to include all types of smoking and vaping in smoke-free multi-unit protections, both tobacco and cannabis, which more than 80% of California's communities do. There's a brand new Surgeon General's report that came out 2 weeks ago that addressed disparities particularly, and it found that inequitable smoke-free protections for people living in multi-unit housing contribute to disparities.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is up.
Hi, good afternoon, Council. Camille Cummings with the African American Tobacco Control Leadership Council. We advocate for the Black community and other communities of color and who are often left out of life-saving public health legislation. I'm here on behalf of my organization to communicate that we do support item number 5.5. I want to reiterate the importance of protecting those who work on Oakland's bar patios from deadly harms of secondhand smoke. Now is the time more than ever to pass strong citywide policies that protect everyone's right to breathe clean, smoke-free air. Many of you know the issue of tobacco and marijuana smoke stems from the tobacco industry's predatory marketing to the Black community and other communities of color. So again, we support this ordinance, and we hope that we can move in the right direction. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Nefer Kelly. So I'm here today as an advocate, a health advocate, and also to support the non-smoking ordinance 5.5. I'm here speaking on behalf of the Latino community. I used to be a waiter, and I was often constantly exposed to secondhand smoke, and it's something that was not that I chose. So I'm sure you have heard of this statistic, but there are studies that have shown that smoke-free laws in outdoor areas can lead to a 30% reduction in exposure of secondhand smoke. And so I am just here to remind you that we all have a human right, the right to health and the right to clean air.
Greetings, one and all. The truth is the light, and me and mine have tried to present you with the option of correcting yourself before you wreck yourself. I was startled by the amount of emergencies under Section 5. You know, we got emergency for cannabis, health, local emergency on homeless, emergency due to AIDS, and at any rate, that was quite a bunch of emergency stuff. I didn't come to speak on 5.5. I came to speak on 5.4. But I got to tell you, until I can cite a clown for letting his motor idle where people sit down, then what you have to say about smoking don't count either. As about the homeless crisis, when the governor took back half the money because Bax and y'all was crooked, somebody said, we'll fire them at Bax and you can run it. And we said, take that to the 27-year-old.
Thank you, Mr. Soldier. Your time is up. Thank you, sir. Your time is up. If your name was called and you wish to speak, please approach the podium. And Ms. Olabala, I have you with multiple cards. You have the maximum time of 3 minutes.
It'll start, yeah. 5.7, Madam Clerk, is the starting point, and throughout this agenda, you have misleading information trying to give the picture that Black and Latinos are having the same experience. Starting with 5.7, you speak to the medium income in Oakland. You say that 2/3 of Blacks and Hispanics have less than the AMI. Well, African Americans have $37,500 median income in Oakland. Latinos have $65,000. As you referenced that Black and Hispanics are significantly vulnerable to displacement. Well, the displacement for African Americans related to per 1,000 rent occupied is 141.6 for African Americans. For Latinos is 61.2. We're not having the same experience, and stop saying we are. Related to item 5.11, you say that Black businesses in Oakland and Hispanic businesses are having issues. Well, African Americans in Oakland only have 1.4% of all the businesses. Nationally, it's only 3%. Blacks and Latinos, as it relates to ownership of business, we do not have the same experience. Stop saying that we do. 5.13, businesses are struggling, okay? You don't have anything that says that Safety Ambassador Program has contributed to decreasing violent crime or property crime. You don't have any data to support it, but you continue to say that we need these ambassadors. 5.15, is the Rule 24 Construction Army Base. It's very important to see that it identifies in this agenda item that there is a hazardous material on the site of the Army base. Now remember, y'all were trying to put homeless people on that base. Don't do it in the future. As it relates to the item 5.21, you have on that workforce development reporting for related to construction work. We got all these black people coming up here talking about, oh, this is great, we're going to be working through, but you still don't have the ability to hold the construction trade unions to give you the race data. Well, here's some of the race data that hasn't been shared but exists. For construction work in the state of California, 83% of all the construction workers in, 83% of all construction workers in California are Latinos. 92% are males. Now, how are they able to get that data? How can the state get data on construction workers and you can't, City of Oakland? Item 5.27, city employment. Mr. Cobb is saying that there's got discrimination and harassment.
Thank you, Ms. Olabalo. Your time is up.
My name is Samuel Ramey. I'm with the California Oakland Union of the Homeless with Mental Health Disability for Independent Living, Community Guard, North Course Partners. I don't like saying this, but Joe Biden signed the grant into law. This country don't even honor their own constitution, their own law when it comes to us. It's sad. The Army base is going back to the Pentagon because y'all did wrong with it. It's supposed to go to the homeless, the people of the city of Oakland. Turn the microphone on. I don't need the damn microphone. I'm mad now. All y'all sit up and told lies all day long. The ice skate rink should have never been built. They supposed to build housing with it. Now we still got a housing crisis. Ain't nobody going to the ice skating rink because they don't live here. Black people don't ice skate, we roller skate. You wouldn't build a roller skate for our people, but you build an ice skating rink and wonder why our children like they are. Talking about the children. Santa Claus ain't ready to get yet. So when we going to start sending out this federal funding to build buildings for the poor, okay, for citizens of the United States? I got a contractor right here ready to build, but he can't get no land because y'all won't free up the land for the people. It's sad. I know about the land where it's free up, but I want y'all to give it to us. We don't have to take everything we need. We should ask and receive under human rights. This country don't have human rights. It turned down 9 votes about 20 years ago. Just a slave country. Fascism's always been here. White supremacy's always been here. Jim Crow got to go. That's what's wrong. They won't even honor us. The housing department down here in West Oakland is bad. You got 15,000 units. You got all these brothers on 14th per hour homeless in their own neighborhood, their community. 15,000 brand new units. I've helped Mandela before they came. They took our money and threw us in the street. Go down there and ask the people where they live at. They can't even speak English. Damn right. I knew what I'm doing. All these buildings around here built with our money, low-income money. And y'all lying to them, throw it on the street. The brother had 5 police cars down there yesterday because he had a mental problem. He didn't take his medication. They had the helicopter go. That's money could be spent here, have a place to put him. He's homeless. It's wrong. He's a human being. It's not a color thing. It's a money thing. Okay? It's sad. But capitalism got to go. Jim Crow got to go. This slavery got to go, y'all. It's hurting us. We ain't got good food. Y'all worry about money and cars, and we ain't got nothing to eat. We finna run out of food, y'all. Real soon. It's called agriculture problem. We eat GMO, clone, gym cell food. It's not God's food. The medical bill is so high in the Pentagon because we have bad food. Give me the senior citizen home and mental disability. I need the land. I can build it right now.
Good afternoon. My name is Bob Gordon, and I'm speaking on consent item 5.5. I'm a member of the Alameda County Tobacco Control Coalition and a volunteer with American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. Smoke-free bar patios are about fairness. Many years ago, I had a summer job in the hospitality industry where part of my job was to clean dirty ashtrays. Nobody should be exposed to the toxic residue from wiping and washing out ashtrays as part of their job. Over 100 cities in California already have smoke-free bar patios, including over 50 just in the Bay Area. Oakland can support its workers instead of exposing them. Thank you.
The public tends to correct the record because this council tends to mislead the public. Let's correct the record. Barbara Parker is not the first black city attorney. She's the first elected. Jane Williams was the first black city attorney. Prior to Jerry Brown's Measure X, that made the city attorney an elected position. So get it right. When are you going to put a health emergency for fentanyl? But you can look at 5.5 on smoking. It's toxic to the health. But you don't want to put, and you voted for it back in June. Dan Cobb acknowledged that. So why are you sitting on your behinds and not putting it on the agenda, Guile? You're going to tell me about the city attorney. The city attorney says, then won't you do something about it? Shame on you. Children are dying. And you sit up there on your asses. Yeah, I said it. And you don't do anything about fentanyl. 70,000 people are dying each year. What are you doing? Over 10 months, and you don't have it as a health crisis. And the city attorney constantly misleads this community. Measure X is illegal. We're in State Court of Appeals. And then you had the mitigating nerve to contact me and want a 30-day extension to respond to my opening brief. Shame on you. Barbara Parker said Oakland Promise was not a nonprofit. It never has been. The merger is illegal. Then the Attorney General, September 7, said they don't even have a record of their status as a nonprofit. And you sit up there ignoring what the facts are. Asada brings you facts about the race of construction workers, and you don't do anything about it. This isn't enough, city council and city attorney's office. And you mislead the public when the facts tell you differently. Shame on you.
For the record, Barbara Parker is the first African-American citywide elected official.
I said the difference was Jane Williams was citywide. I understand Barbara Parker was the first elected. Didn't you hear what I said? That happened in 1998 on the strong mayor form of government. So don't
Both facts are correct. I just wanted to reiterate what was in the resolution. Let's move on. You're out of order. Let's move on.
Thank you, Mr. Hazard. If the next speaker could approach the podium so we can continue on. Thank you.
Ryan Davis, LGBTQ minus tobacco, also here to speak on 5.5. Last time you heard David's story about how he is immunocompromised and yet still risks his health to go to his neighborhood bar patio because it's where he feels at home. A former bartender told me he quit that job at a patio bar because of the damage the smoke was doing to his lungs, despite his desire to be a part of that community. In our conversations with people at Oakland Pride, Oakland First Fridays, and other events, we hear many stories from people who want to go to bars with patios but have asthma or other lung diseases make it hard for them. Making bar patios smoke-free won't just protect the people who work there and who go there now. It will increase the number of people who go to these bars, increase the profits of those bars, and get more people out enjoying Oakland nightlife. That's what happened in the 90s when bar interiors went smoke-free statewide, and that's what will happen in Oakland now. Thanks to your action today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, City Council. My name is Jimmy, speaking on 5.5. It's encouraging to see Oakland taking steps to join over 100 cities and counties across California, including more than 50 in the Bay Area, that have implemented smoke-free bar patio policies. Your commitment to fostering healthier workplaces and public spaces is commendable and speaks to Oakland's dedication to its community. Allowing smoking on bar patios at its core is a worker's health right and safety. The ordinance reflects commitment to ensuring that all workers, especially those in industries where advocating for oneself can be challenging, to have access to healthier work environments. This ordinance shows commitment to standing up for bar workers in Alameda County. As I've shared before, members of my own family could have directly benefited from a policy like this. Take my uncle, for example. He deserved to come home from work without carrying the stench of smoke on his clothes and not only affecting his health, but harming his family. The smoke clinging to his clothes triggered severe asthma attacks in my cousin every time he returned home after working in a smoke-filled restaurant bar. This ordinance gives workers like my uncle the chance to do their jobs without having to choose between their livelihoods and the health of their loved ones. It also protects individuals like my cousin, who is undocumented and, like many in his position, face. Thank you.
If your name is called and you're in chambers or you wish to speak, please approach the podium. Now at this time, we'll be moving to the Zoom speakers, starting with Joseph Hayden. Okay. If you sign up to speak, please line up so we can move through quickly. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Herman Adams. I'm here to speak upon item 511. I want to thank the council members who are here today who are in support of this item, who helped make change for a small local business to actually have more diversity and inclusion in this construction and local business participation. And I want to thank you all for your diligent work listening to us in the community and construction teams and other community members to actually make change for this effort. So I want look forward to item 511 to move forward, and we can all help grow this item, help grow in this capacity, help members of the city.
Thank you for your comments. Moving to the Zoom speakers, starting with Joseph Hayden. I have you with one card. You will have 1 minute. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments.
I am here as a volunteer member of the Alameda County Tobacco Control Coalition, speaking on item 5.5. It's really disappointing that an exception was made for cannabis smoking in an attempt to pass a smoke-free multi-unit housing ordinance. How many times did the doctors and experts without a cannabis lobby agenda have to testify in front of the Oakland City Council that there are a plethora of ways to ingest cannabis that does not affect their immune-compromised and otherwise vulnerable neighbors who don't want smoke wafting into their windows, electric sockets, and residential patios? Whose interest is being protected when the Oakland City Council only concentrates on the cannabis lobby talking points and not the health of citizens who almost never have the means to just pick up and move because they're tormented by the lack of fresh air in their own homes? Medicinal or not, there's no mandate that cannabis be smoked, even though it has been normalized. And this aspect of the smoke-free policy for Oakland is now just another unenforceable piece of paper posing as an ordinance. I encourage you to revisit this flawed logic. There's no doctor who can honestly say that the healthiest way to ingest cannabis is.
Thank you for your comments. Moving to Luis Santos Hernandez. I have one card for you. You will have 1 minute.
Yes, good afternoon. I'll be speaking on item 5.5. My name is Luis Santos, and I'm a resident of District 7 in Oakland, as well as a member of the Alameda County Tobacco Control Coalition, who will not support a policy that includes an exemption for smoking or vaping of cannabis in multi-unit housing, but is in support of prohibiting smoking in unenclosed areas of bars. I know that some business owners have expressed concern that they may lose revenue if a smoke-free bar patio policy is enacted. However, a recent survey of 144 Oakland residents who named specific bars with patios they frequent, found that nearly 30% of respondents would visit these bars more frequently if the patios were smoke and vape free. Additionally, 60% of the respondents said it would not affect their frequency of visits, and only 10% indicated that they would visit less. It is also worth noting that the smoke-free bar patio policy has received strong support from the Bay Area Council, Regional Chamber of Commerce representing over 300 of the largest employees in the region, demonstrating broad support from the business community for a healthier smoke-free environment. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. The next speaker is David Wingate. I have you with one card. You have 1 minute. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments.
My name is David Wingate. I'm a resident of District 1. I want to comment on item 5.5. I'm in favor of making bar patios smoke-free. Secondhand smoke is dangerous inside or outside. That's why smoking is already prohibited outside of restaurants. Bars shouldn't be exempted. This is a loophole that we should close now. Of course, this affects bar patrons, but what about bar workers? They shouldn't be forced to choose between their health and their job. I was in that position once, and I now regret that I compromised my health. It wasn't a good choice. This issue is especially important to me because I'm a recovering addict. I sympathize with anyone who struggles with addiction. Tobacco is extremely addictive. It's hard to stop. I know that smoke-free bar patios will help some people stop smoking. Let's do this.
Lucy Wu, you are next. I have you with one card. You have 1 minute. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lucy. I'm a volunteer with LGBTQ minus tobacco, and I'm here to express my support for 5.5 and the hope for future improvement to 5.5. I'm excited to know that bar patio workers and everyone in the restaurant industry can now kind of get like a blanket coverage of protection or a measure of protection against secondhand smoke. But I think that the cannabis exemption in multi-unit housing will need more work. Cities like Berkeley and Marin County were early adopters of smoke-free multi-unit housing with cannabis exemptions, and they have since recently revised those kinds of policies and now don't allow that. So looking forward to seeing everyone again sometime. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you, Judy B. I have one card for you. You are next. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments. Judy Bomer.
Yes. Can you hear me?
If you are unmuted, we can't hear you. We'll come back to you. Going to Jeff Levin, I have you with two cards. You will have 2 minutes. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments.
Thank you, Jeff Levin with East Bay Housing Organization, speaking on 5.7 and Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Jeff Levin with East Bay Housing Organizations. On item 5.7, we had made comments on these relocation ordinance provisions at both CED and at City Council. We just wanted to acknowledge and thank both the committee and the city attorney for incorporating our suggestions into the ordinance. We hope we don't see demolition of affordable and rent-controlled housing, but at least we know that when that does happen to the full extent possible, we will both be replacing those units and ensuring that the tenants have protection in the forms of advance notice as well as the maximum eligible relocation benefits. So thank you for responding to those comments. On item 5.21, we sent you a note yesterday. This is about the construction workforce related reporting standards, which we support. We would suggest that you make 2 amendments in order to make these reporting standards more useful. The first would be to require that the reporting be based on the number of person hours per craftsperson, not just the number. You might have 20% of the people Oakland residents, but they might represent only 5% of the hours worked. And it's really important that we know what percentage of the time on the job is being spent by workers with different characteristics. The other change we are suggesting is to add one more data item, and that is union status, both whether the people working on the job are union members working under a union contract and whether the contractors and subcontractors are themselves union shops signatory to union agreements. We've had a lot of questions about the difference between the unionized and non-unionized workforce, so including this information would really help us make some better policy decisions going forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Black Homeless Advocate, you are next. Phone number ending in 9932. I have multiple cards for you. You will have 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments. Black Homeless Advocate, I see you. You are unmuted, but we cannot hear you. I'll give you a minute. We will come back to you. Moving to Derek Barnes. I also have multiple cards for you. You too will have 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments.
Yes, Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, City Council members and President Bass. Derek Barnes with East Bay Rental Housing Association, speaking on 5.4, 5.5, and 5.7. Just some general comments here. So with 4 exiting council members, several who remain, and an incoming new mayor, Oakland will continue to change. I think we all know that. And congratulations to all those who are incoming and those who are moving on. The city is at an inflection point. We have headwinds at the county, state, and federal level. And what I know for sure is that no one is coming to our rescue. No one's going to rescue us. So we must figure out how to work smarter, work together, and with courage, empathy, integrity. So let's get to work. I think one of the cornerstones of leadership is to try and leave a place better than where you found it. Sometimes it's not always possible to do that on our own personal timeframes, but we keep moving forward with influence and intention, which allows our good work to continue through others. Progress isn't a dirty word. I personally look forward to continuing the partnership with city staff and council members to find ways to move towards a greater Oakland. We talk about love life and creating programs and policies through an equity lens. And as it relates to housing and homelessness, the results in Oakland are pretty clear. We're not reaching our most vulnerable. We see the crime, who's on our streets without housing, and where our precious resources are really going. But that's not the whole story in the city with an airport, a freeway network, a port, lots of flat land, a sea of smart people, and many diverse communities. I want to remind the City Council that commerce is the lifeblood of any city. Creating, developing, maintaining it in Oakland is critical, especially when we're losing businesses and residents. In Oakland, rental housing is a $3.1 billion economy with an expansive business ecosystem that involves trades and maintenance, utilities and retail, professional services and supplies. Tinkering with it, this delicate ecosystem can create peril. Our city leaders must find ways to lift up, protect, and preserve our small businesses who are also struggling and still struggling, including small rental housing providers who are Black and brown and immigrant. I'm here today to challenge all of us to work together to be better stewards for a greater Oakland. Thank you for your time. I look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you for your comments. Going back to Black Homeless Advocate, please unmute yourself and begin your comments. Mr. Parker? Okay, going back to Judy. I have 1 card for you. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments.
Hello, my name is Judy Beamer. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer for Benioff Children's Hospitals, and I speak before you today to urge you to support Agenda Item 5.15 for the proposed Telestop lease agreement between the City of Oakland and Benioff Children's Hospitals, Oakland. As the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in the East Bay, Benioff Children's Hospital Oakland provides immediate, highly specialized pediatric emergency services to thousands of children in need of critical life-saving care, including the daily use of emergency helicopter transport. On average, we receive 1 to 2 critical life-saving emergency helicopter transports daily. The temporary helistop is crucial for us to continue to care for patients. As you know, children's health emergencies often require swift and timely intervention, and having a temporary helistop as close as possible to the hospital will ensure that critically ill children receive the medical attention that they need without delay. After an extensive review of other possible locations, the 101 Admiral Tony Way site.
Final call going back to Black Homeless Advocate. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments. We have your 3 minutes up.
Black Homeless Advocate, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I'd like to start off by saying I hope we could get a representative there from the Brown Act to clarify once again instead of always using the legal department. Also, I'm very much in agreement with the appointment of Joy Gay to the Library Commission. I'd like to hopefully find out the outcome of a case that I have ongoing with the Internal Affairs and CIPRA. The last time I spoke with someone from that, either one of those organizations, mainly Internal Affairs, was a woman named Miss Everett from the police department. They have not gotten back to me up till now. I hope this is another 180 days of wasted time. Maybe Ms. Parker could look into this before she retires. Also, during that, I spoke with Mac Muir, the director of CIPRA, and he told me that I could not have 2 cases going on simultaneously because I had asked to complain about a woman by the name of Stephanie Zane, which I felt was very rude, as well as making other comments. She asked me, did I want to make a complaint against the mayor? I don't think that's something an employee of Internal Affairs should be asking someone as a volunteer statement. Also, Mr. Muir told me that I said, why don't you just get the film? There was all kinds of news stations there. He told me that could be costly. Now he's saying that it was free, or he could have something for free. So why didn't he? Then that would have probably ended the whole thing of what happened because you could see it on video. So there's some hanky-panky going on with Internal Affairs and CIPRA. And so when it comes to our funding, let's not give our funding dollars away to folks that aren't helping Black folks. Let's find out what the demographics are on how many Black folks are helped by those organizations as opposed to white folks that are helped by those organizations. Because I think some people lose their cases by giving information to an organization like Internal Affairs, and you give them all your information, get nothing in return. When you go to court, they pretty much got the court case handled. Other thing is something recently with the removal of Mrs. Price. Let's don't give Carl Chan any type of power. Probably the reason he's involved in that is because he possibly could be working with the Chinese secret police. As you know, there's about 53 of those worldwide, even here in Oakland. Also, I would like hope.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Parker. Your time was up. At this time, all names have been called. If you're in chambers, on Zoom, you wish to still speak, please approach the podium or raise your hand if you submitted a card. Thank you.
That's all those speakers, Madam Clerk? Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay.